Hi, Carly. You look great with your hair done.
Hello.
I've been trying to get you on film for a while.
A few days, yeah.
What was this film about?
Well, it looks like our stalker just commented on your blog.
This is better than, like, blocked tweets. Blocked tweet. Battery of blocked tweets.
Well, now he's reaching out on your platform.
Yeah.
Going to you, the source, instead of cowering behind a blocked account.
Yeah. So when he @s me or @slashes me, while he blocks me, he's technically talking to me but not allowing me to respond. Which feels stalkerish.
Well, something changed in him. I guess maybe you've gotten through to him in some way, and he's given you the ability to respond. It looks like
I like the pink. I think the pink is having like a...
it's a calming effect on his psyche.
Yeah.
Maybe it feels more inviting to go to a page that has pink.
Oh, that's the shirt you were wearing in your Oregonian pic.
Yeah, when I was silly stringed.
That's a really cute picture. You were going to get me that for my birthday, so I can have like a poster for my wall. And, wow, your hair is down and mine isn't. So should I read it? How long can we make this, or should we make it short and sweet?
It's your
So, should it be prohibited that I'm not allowed to make creative writing loosely based on the experience of being Twitter stalked? Is that the thing, like no creative writing based on the experience of digital harassment and digital abuse? I think he's trying to basically tell me I'm not allowed to.
You can't process it the way you feel is appropriate. In any, I mean, people get through process traumatic things and like stalkers differently, and I think creative writing is a great outlet to cope with the horrendous things that this person has said over the last few months. Not just to me or you, but a lot of people that hasn't called for it. Like, he's gotten people beaten up recently. One of his colleagues is
blinded. Somebody who's recovering from a punch. Mason Lake had the punch to the face.
Yeah, that's brutal. I mean, it's so bad. It was one punch, but it actually blackened both of his eyes.
And econbrkfst, Nicholas Lee, is associated with people involved in the federal indictment. So I have to constantly make disclaimers that I do not support arson. I do not support attacks on the federal courthouse. I do not support endangering courthouse workers, security guards, and district, like the U.S. attorneys.
Like his associate, Ronald Hickey.
And I basically, Tawasi Sos is how he pronounces S-O-C-E. But what I found... the Marriott case. But what I found so upsetting, too, is that I realized not only... Like, for instance, if he wants to screenshot a tweet that I made, he will deliberately put all my middle names into a tweet associating it with my Twitter account, which my Twitter account is rather separate. It's a separate thing, and he doesn't even understand digital etiquette. That you respect the separateness of an avatar of a social account. But that's like more tedious. But like, he'll put this boldly my stuff, and then he'll like black out Binksy because he wants to protect Binksy because she's in the Antifa Cool Kids Club who support violence and cursing at cops. And so he protects people that maybe are militants or have militant ideology or propaganda or trends or whatever. And then he's using my name and account because I'm like I'm a safe zone, because I'm like a human shield that is hiding his friends who are supporting arson, promoting criminal activities. And then once I realized, wow, I'm being used like a shield to protect him, and he's hiding behind my identity because he's like, "Ang this, ang that," and I didn't. Yeah, and it's like, I don't want to be associated with their activities. I'm not welcome. I'm not supported. They don't support nonviolence, veganism, environmentalism. Arson is bad for the environment. And he wants to constantly rope me into his Twitter feed while he's directly linked to people who are being indicted and arrested.
Yeah. And encouraging their actions, I would say.
Yeah, encouraging. Including I Write OK, who he's constantly in threads and themes with, promoting the arson of the Portland Police Association.
Justifying it.
justifying it, claiming it, and I want nothing to do with that. Harassing me with fake accounts. I'm pretty sure he's got some fake accounts that are like checking in on me to like harass. I can't really prove it's Nicholas Lee, but I think I think I should just leave his tweets, and I've told him not to harass.
And even if it's not his account, it could be, so much attention is being brought onto you from his channel. It could be someone who's read his threads upon threads and decided to come after you.
Right, and he doesn't care if I've already, like, there's no evoking sympathy because he, as like a true sociopath, he doesn't have any sympathy. And if I say, oh, well, somebody could hurt me, he's just like, I don't care. Like, screw you. That's Nicholas Lee, the mafia hit lord. Oh my God, I don't even remember what happened with that at YouTube he tried to get taken down. Did they get taken down or not? I don't remember. I don't think YouTube ever got back to me. Because what I do is I know how to write like a formula of like, this is educational, this is not defamatory, this is factual, this is not defamation, blah, 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 blah. And basically he wants unlimited free speech to harass me daily in hundreds and thousands of tweets. Yeah. And he wants zero free speech for me. And
he wants to be a public figure, but not endure what comes along with being a public figure, which is being scrutinized by the press, by citizen bloggers, by independent journalists, and he's made himself a target by sending terrorists to attack one of his colleagues, and that's just the most recent. I mean, this person has sent lots of traffic to my place. He's doxed my physical location, and ever since then, people have been writing all sorts of defacement all around my neighborhood, putting this permanent glue stickers on the signs, on city signs, that you can't even get it off. Like, you literally have to deface over it to get rid of it.
And so maybe like what I should ask Econ Breakfast is, do you believe in blinding people with lasers? Do you believe in kill graffiti? Do you believe in home stalking? Do you apologize for home stalking? Do you realize how to this day that makes someone feel?
Not once has he condemned any of that. In fact, he's treated it all like a joke.
It's all like a joke. Yeah, which...
This is my house. This is my life.
I think the abused people can become perpetrators, and I would ask him to break the cycle. And just because you were abused by your family or your mother or whomever, don't take it out on innocent parties. But there are a lot of abused children in this little like revolution. The abused kids who
it really
go
is
down.
like a beehive of abused outcasts who just are trying to perpetuate their cycle of abuse by screaming at cops.
And become sort of like celebrity arsonists or celebrity Cash App arsonists, or they're trying to monetize this massive, expensive destruction. And there are all these black activists reaching out and saying, you don't represent me. Stop making this all about you and your narcissism. You look so great with your hair down. So do you want to look at this message? Oh, it's just dreadful. Okay, so Nicholas Lee. There's no getting through to you, Mary Rose Lenore Eng. And he does that passive-aggressively because I've asked him not to use that name. It makes me uncomfortable. If you believe these things are true, you're experiencing delusions. That's not an insult. I can't force you to seek help for your mental health issues. But I can continue to make it clear that you need to leave me out of this sick game of yours and Farley's.
Sick game.
You've spent much of 2020 polluting the internet. Oh, wow. With increasingly inflammatory lies about a complete stranger. Hi, that's me. And attempting to falsely incriminate them to defend a sexual predator.
More slander.
You refuse to accept that others aren't attracted to. This isn't activism, it's abusive. I'm not extending any olive branch or deleting anything at your request, just as I'm not complying with your emailed cease and desist demand. I don't want anything censored. Words have meaning. Meaning's Eng. If you
who doesn't want anything censored, then why does he constantly try to censor our channels?
Right. If you want to show a modicum of decency, this is very archaic language to me, decency. I've spelled it out before. You could start by removing the defamatory articles about me and removing my misused footage from the Mary Ang 1 YouTube channel, as I've been requesting for months. You could stop lying, stop using your identity as a shield, and take accountability for your abusive behavior. Also stop sending and publishing creepy messages to people claiming I'm your partner's gay stalker. That really got to him about John the Lefty. This nightmare could have ended with me blocking you months ago. You acknowledged my need to do This nightmare should have ended with me blocking you months ago. You acknowledged my need to do so, remember? And you leaving me the hell alone. So he blocks me, but then he talks about me all day on Twitter. Every single day, all day, yeah.
And the most defamatory, disgusting, like, accusations, like, misogynistic. It's terrible.
Well, yeah.
It affects me.
Yeah.
It's not even directed at me. It is directed at me indirectly.
Well, and yeah, it is. It's like, I'm the red meat that he wants to savage to hurt you because he's so focused on hurting you, and I'm so focused on just like, why can't you guys have some problem? I didn't even understand the origin of the problem when I threw myself into it. I just thought this was perverse. Like, what's the deal? And I mean, he doesn't talk about genitals as much anymore. Calling you a sexual predator is so offensive. And then
everything is always sexual.
And then mental health issues, that's like, he's not a Twitter psychiatrist.
Fixated on sexuality. On specifically my sexuality.
Right, which he was stalking you about the catfishing exploit that most likely the person who was trying to like solicit sexual images was his male abuser or like activist runner,
One could speculate.
Yeah, Hart Noecker's friend, the rapist friend. Oh God.
I just wanted to like get. You think that after all these riots were happening for the last 2 months, that him being out there would fill up enough of his time, but he's still talking about it.
Through the riots, okay, please don't commit. How do I spell commit? Commit any crimes? Crimes.
That's a positive message.
Please don't stalk at anyone's housing anymore.
I mean, he's at risk of losing his own housing, apparently.
Well,
I don't
and
know
it's
what that's about.
Yeah, please, like, glad you made it through the riots. Okay, please don't commit any crimes. Please don't stalk anyone's housing anymore. Please stop. Well, see, the thing is, he really hates it. That remember how he liked to hold the camera in your face and be like, "Aren't you gonna be a serial killer? Aren't you gonna be like Jeremy Christian?" And I basically took his like power of his defamatory framing away from him by bootlegging my audio track over his footage, which was an appropriation of your likeness to promote his fantasy world that you're a serial killer. And I was just like, oh, Brandon, he's hot. And like, oh, Brandon. And then I had like my friend talking over it, and it was just like random and just like fun. I was collaging with his art product in a fair use way. He doesn't understand fair use because the only fair use is his right to abuse and target and focus on you, defame you, and set you up as his big bad wolf in his fantasy world where you're this nightmare, terrifying person. And I was like, what a spin. Where'd you get that spin? I've got a different spin. I've got a different opinion, and he wants to nullify my opinion, which is ultimately tyrannical, Cold War, baby boomer style, thought control, Stalinism. In his mind, he's decided you're bad, and he's the witch trial expert. You're the witch, he's burning you at the stake, and I got in the way of his targeting and predation on you. And I don't know, I guess he's not making a copyright claim because it's within fair use to use his footage to promote a more accurate narrative. I mean, if anything, it was his Twitter footage.
Yeah, and within the Twitter terms of service, they want you to only release content that you're comfortable with sharing to everyone.
Right. So Twitter being such a free and open socialist platform, socialist guys, like, is sharing that with you and then us and me.
You guys
And
want free food? You should want free
I'm like,
media.
look at that face. He's beautiful. Let's do something with it. Thanks, Econ. And guess what? I've got more films of him now. So if you want to add your subtitles and your negative spin, like you wrote the words all over his face in that beautiful profile pic I took, like, if this is your template to write your little Big Bad Wolf scenario or whatever, is that enough, Farrell? Did we do enough? Anything left? Kiss me. Kiss me quick. Ah, yummy. Okay.